What is going on? How's it going, everyone? This is another political short. My name is Lamar, and this is TOGTV. And I want to talk a little bit about Chris Rock. Where is he? There he is. Chris Rock is talking a little bit about politics. We know him as one of the top comedians in the world, actually. One of the highest grossing, highest paid comedians in the world. One of the top comedians. And comedians, many times you talk about politics in their sets, and he's one of the comedians that actually does that. So I guess he has a little bit of knowledge of what's happening. In a recent interview with the New York Times, Chris Rock made it very clear that he believes that there's enough blame to go around for the Democrats, namely Nancy Pelosi and other Democratic leaders in the House and Senate, as it relates to the pandemic. And I'll let you guys let this soak in for a second, because many people would agree with that. I must say that I kind of agree. I get where he's coming from. How, I'm sure you're asking, how do the Democrats, why should they have any responsibility or take any responsibility for the pandemic? Let's see. When the pandemic was growing, coming in its inception, if you will, well, as far as we know, I'm sure it probably started last year sometime, but when we started hearing about it, what were the Democrats doing? Democrats were trying to impeach the president, Donald Trump. While I can't say that I disagree with that, with the fact that he possibly needed to be impeached, but all their time, all their resources, all their energy was on impeaching Donald Trump. The stupid thing about that is they knew already that he would not be removed from office. They were not going to get the support of the Senate on that, which is controlled by the Republicans. So they did all this work, put all this energy towards impeaching him, proceedings, all this, knowing that he was not going to be removed from office. Knowing this. So what was the purpose? The purpose was a political play to have that blemish on his record for history, for the history books, that there's a blemish by his presidency, and that's all they want. This is kind of a little sock from Nancy Pelosi to Donald Trump, just to try to get back at him because they do not like him, which is understandable. But in doing that, a lot of energy was diverted from a more serious problem in the world, which was and is the pandemic that's killed hundreds of thousands of people, affected millions of people, and affected millions of business owners, businesses, people have lost jobs. What if our Congress, Democratic and Republican Congress, were working together, putting their energy towards putting a stop to this? I know you're going to say, president's job. Trump did not take it serious. We just heard the tapes from Woodward's book, Fear, that not the tapes, but testimony, if you will, from Woodward, that Trump he knew it was serious, but did not take it serious. This is all true. He knew it was serious, but did not take it serious, he says. Now that he did not want to create a panic, cause a panic, therefore he lied. I can't agree with that. I think he should have let us know that he understood the severity of it. However, I think we put too much. How should I word this? We expect too much from a person like this. Do anyone really think that Trump was qualified to be president? No one. Not too many people did. Even people that voted for him didn't. They just wanted something different. So I think it's a bit asinine to assume that he would know how to handle a pandemic. Even though he tries to act like he does, he has no idea what he's doing. No history in politics. No. All he's ever done is real estate. How would he know what to do with a pandemic? And then he's an extreme narcissist, so he does not listen to anyone. So even if the people around him are smart enough to know what to do, again, the Obama administration left the playbook. Susan Rice told us about that. They left a playbook specifically for a pandemic. But because he's such a narcissist, He refuses to listen to anyone. So what do you do in that instance when you have a spoiled brat, rich kid, 5-year-old, as Chris Rock classified him as or characterized him as in his interview? What do you do when you have a 5-year-old that does not know what they're doing? Will throw a tangent, throw a fit, won't listen. What do? You let them feel like they're in control, but you do what adults do on the back end. You make sure things get taken care of. That's what Chris Rock is saying in so many words that the Democrats should have been doing. Let this idiot 5-year-old feel like he's in charge. Let him get on Twitter and tweet ridiculous stuff. Let him go on interviews, go on Fox every day for 46 minutes and bumble about whatever. Have his rallies with all the racist people that come out to his rallies. Let him do that. But in Congress, where things really get things done and handle the pandemic and control it so you can save lives rather than worry about battling with him. Maybe the Democrats should have did what Michelle Obama said. She said, when they go low, we go high. The Democrats haven't taken that into consideration or to heart, because when Trump goes low, which he always does, Democrats go down right with him rather than taking the high road. Particularly the leader of the Democratic Party in our Congress right now, Nancy Pelosi. Mean old lady. Mean and surly, as my grandma would say. And she's been doing this for a long time. So I don't believe that she does not know what she's doing. But she has such a thorn in her ass for Trump that she allows it to cloud her judgment when it comes to doing things that's going to benefit the American people. And even when it comes to negotiations, she refuses to negotiate just because it's him. And so you can't stoop to a 5-year-old's level. Let's go to what Chris Rock said specifically. Chris Rock said, and I quote, he compared Trump to a 5-year-old, as I just said, and said Pelosi should have been more focused on the coronavirus because there was no way that Trump was going to be removed. She said it was totally up to Pelosi and the Democrats. Their thing was, we're going to get him impeached, which was never going to happen. You let the pandemic come in. Yes, we can blame Trump, but he's really the 5-year-old. All right. And as I just said, also, he says, did you ever see that movie, The Last Emperor? I've never seen it. Maybe you guys have. Where a 5-year-old is the emperor of China. There's a kid and he's the king. So I'm like, it's all the Democrats' fault, because you knew that the emperor was 5 years old. And when the emperor is 5 years old, they only lead in theory. There's usually an adult who's like, okay, this is what we're really going to do. And so Chris is saying, this is what the Democrats should have did behind the scenes. Even the Republicans, come on, there's Republicans even in the administration that say they have to hide stuff from him to keep him from creating even bigger storms as relates to foreign policy and dealing with our allies and our enemies. So all of them should have been doing this. Let him be the 5-year-old, feel like he's in charge, but handle business behind the scenes to make sure the American people are safe. And none of them have done that. So they've all failed. And I agree with Chris Rock. Chris Rock is right. And hopefully the Democrats and Republicans can do better. I don't know what's going to happen in November, but I hope we get back to business and get this country back on track. Might I say, make America great? Okay, I won't say that.